as usual. Stay triggered. Pew pew, pew.
Alright, now that we're through our silly intro, let's get into it here, and let's talk about what to do, how to set up. So, as you saw before, we are set as this team here. I know we're kind of a little overpowered team, but I'm going to give you some simple instructions as to what to do to win the battle. Now, a lot of people in the past would say, kill all the monsters and no retreat. Yes, that's a good advantage. But if you have this kind of advantage, which sometimes comes to play and can work out in your favor, they put their leader in the front. Take advantage of that. Sometimes you want a mobile team to do something. So we could surround her and get an advantage that way, which maybe we should do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the battlefield here, see what we can do. So right off the bat, you're like, what should I do first? Well, you could do this. So let's do a fire breath attack here. And now we got that fire breath damage going on there, which is pretty good. All right, so we're going to go to our other person here, our rock. We're going to fly out here. I know you're like, whoa, you're getting really aggressive. This game, sometimes you want to get aggressive. There's definitely times where you want to play the tank defense, and we'll showcase that in a different video. But here, we're going to play a little aggressive, and we're going to go for the attack. We're going to see what happens. We did get the hit. We did get hurt. She did do some pretty good damage, honestly. But now, if you want to play a little bit safe, which I would kind of suggest starting off the game, go over here. And as you can see, now we're going to do this attack. And now the attack has a bonus of 15% crit. If you see that over here on the side here, I'm just going to highlight that really fast. See my pink line there? So 15% chance extra to do a crit, if I can speak correctly, which I can. So, and you also see the 92% tile go up to 100%, which means that now that we surrounded her with that pincer attack, like I showed you before, it's either side to side, you have to have a monster or a leader on, or in a triangle fashion, either upside down or right, or the correct way, right side up. Either way works. It doesn't matter. But as long as you have them surrounded on all three sides, the enemy or you are like, whoa, what's going on? And then they can't effectively defend from all this damage. So then it's like a real life fight. You're getting surrounded on all sides. You can't super effectively defend from every angle, and then you could get hurt. The same goes for the enemy too. So when it comes to this game, pincering is key. Pincering is key. I will say that 25 times if you need to hear that, but for this game in particular, try to pincer if you can, especially a leader. It will help you to a win. Try not to do it with your leaders if you don't have to, but if you're strong enough and you can handle it, then go for it, do it. So let's see what happens if I bring Eliza in here, because we just did all that damage with our dragon. We did the 2 pincer attacks. She's down 90. Eliza's red, she's green. We're going to do fantastic damage onto her. That is 192 points of damage. If it's a crit, it'll be more than that, but let's look at the damage. As you see, 192 on my power score, which should say damage. Let's see what this is, which it is 192. So they actually show you the hit points, which I'd rather them not. But everybody has a different way of wanting to play the game, and you know, that's the way they made this game. So if you like that, that's fine. But in the older games, they didn't let you do that. So as you saw, we did that, and we gained a dragon off that. So this was a dragon that was on her team. These little dots here, if you're trying to understand what these dots and these A's means alpha team, then there's a beta team, then there's a Charlie team. So right up here, there's alpha team for me, beta team for me, and Charlie team for me, and now they're just left with alpha team. And so you see these markers here, it goes from top down. So I'm going first, then she's going next, and then Avner, and then Vane's going last. So we're not going to really get to see Vane here. We'll probably cover a more extensive battlefield in the next guide videos if you want to see that, and we'll go over that. But all I really have to do is we could go up and do a little bit of extra damage. He can't even really get there, so just move here. And the turn, Centaur, can the Centaur get a shot? Sure, we'll get a shot. In this game, if you attack the monster that is yours, you're like, oh no, I'm damaging, I'm hurting it. You're getting experience for the monsters that are on your team. So we got 61 experience. The captured monster can't do anything. She might try to do something, or she might try to leave. And as you see here, she's leaving right now. the AI knows when it just cannot handle a battle. Sometimes it does try to stick through some weird battles, but for the most part, if they know they're outgunned, outmanned, they're going to leave. And as a result of that, you're going to gain experience for all your monsters. So just winning a battle, even if you lose a couple monsters, even if you have to sacrifice a monster, you're going to be able to get experience. So you saw that experience gain we got, and then look at all this great stuff. And then you can see the stat growth there. It shows the HP MP. I got some agility off that. This dog got a whole bunch of stuff. MP, strength, intelligence, agility. That's great. Dragon actually leveled up to level 4. Got all that. We captured a monster. And it's great. They do a little victory dance, and there you go. So sometimes when you're in battles, you might have to sacrifice a monster or two. So if you're going into battles and you're like, I'm going to do this perfectly all the time, don't get that in your head. You're going to get anxiety. Maybe you might get anxiety. Hopefully you don't. But you might get some anxiety thinking, oh no, I lost this monster I really, really wanted. This is kind of like playing a risk game. You're going to lose a couple monsters here and there. Sometimes you're going to be up against a really good leader that'll just, like Rudo, he might just one-shot a monster, or Tim, or Eliza, or Stella. Anybody could really do that. So the only way to really get to that point where you're like, okay, I'm probably not going to lose my monsters, is once you've done enough battles to win some battles to gain a overall bonus for all of your monsters and all of your leaders. Once you got your leaders up in level 7, level 9 and stuff, then you can be more confident moving forward and attacking things. Because yeah, you might lose a couple monsters here and there, but every time you get a win, you're probably going to get a level up. You're probably going to get another monster upgrade, and then you're going to have a higher snake, a higher dragon, a higher giant, rock, mandrake, centaur, you know, whatever you want to have, you're going to have it. So as you see, that's the win there, and you can see that we had a pretty easy win here. This is optimally the way to go. I'll show you what these things mean here on the screen here. So victory, obviously, we know what that means. Here was our CP total, our combat power total, combat power. Remember that word there? That is what that means. We had 10,000 or 13,599, and they had 5,912, which is really not very good for them. We didn't get any losses here. She's in the red because she got injured. So she got injured, and this cage symbol means that we captured that particular monster. It was that monster. This little circle symbol here means that she retreated. She circled back, I guess. I don't know. It just basically means it retreated. And everything on our team is still highlighted. So, you know, we did a flawless battle there, and that's how you can pull that off. If you see a leader in the front line and you can see that you have a certain amount of monsters to do damage, go out there and give it a try. If you think that you have a good advantage, if you've got them, you know, at a good disadvantage. And we had 2 red monsters versus her leader, which was green. We had the advantage there. So if somebody says, oh, the elements don't really matter, they do matter. And some people ask me, like, does it matter, like, which team I should bring? Now, there's a difference between defensive teams with particular elements and offensive teams. Offensive teams, you want to try to make a mix of everything. So what we got here for our team is a pretty good mix. We've got the reds with the red dragon, we got the blues with the water snake, and we got the greens with the mandrake. So as far as tank is concerned, we have all 3 different elements going for us on this team, which is great. As far as the frontal monsters are concerned. Now, you might say you want the leaders that way. I just focus on the monsters because it's easier that way. You don't have to think too hard on it, and you can just kind of move forward and be like, well, they've got a weakness here, and I've got this particular monster, I can use this against them. That's how you're supposed to think. You're supposed to think about taking advantage of certain situations. So when you're looking at battlefields and stuff, it's just going to come down to which situations are giving you an advantage. Now, if she wasn't in the front and there were other monsters out there and they were still coming after us, and we just had a feeling they were going to come after us, engage us, then we can set up a little wall, a little triangle wall, which a lot of people recommend, and I'll cover that too and go into that. But she just basically left herself completely exposed, and there's no point in not taking advantage of that. If you're trying to figure out how to get a win, how to get stronger, there are times that you do have to take advantage of easy wins like that and just do it. I know you could probably do more and probably let that, you know, work out a little more to your advantage of trying to take out more monsters, but this is for beginners. And as a beginner, I want you to be successful. And to be successful, you have to gain some confidence first. So this is your confidence booster. Find the advantage, take the advantage of the opportunities you have, and get the win. That's what you need to do. As you go forward and you try to get a little bit better, we can talk about kind of like slowing the battlefield down and working with trying to get more experience for the monsters. And yeah, they're giving them a little opportunity too, but it also benefits you as well. But we'll go over that later. That's pretty much what you got to do to be successful. You see an advantage, you move out there, you do your attack. Now, if the leader, like I said, if the leader wasn't in front and there was too much stuff going on there, we'll just set up a little wall and we'll move forward with that. I'll make a more advanced video for that later, or maybe some different wall advantages. And the next videos I want to do are probably like what are tanks, what are flanks, what are ranged, what are support. I want to go over that first before we get into that kind of video. But as you could see, before we even engaged her, we were already kind of set up in a defensive position that she couldn't really get in and do anything too serious. So we could have just stayed there for the most part. We could move Vayne around and attacked in a different way. But we'll go more of that later. I just wanted to showcase that sometimes there's opportunities and sometimes you want to take advantage of those opportunities. So let's see what's next as far as what could be next here. And we'll go over that. So here we got 15-9. I think we'll go over our basic wall defense here with this particular battle. And we'll see what that's all about. So that'll be in the next video. But I want to thank you for coming by and checking this one out. If you did, definitely, you know, do one of these. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. And so you're probably also wondering, like, how do I set them up? Which one should I put down on the battlefield first? It can matter sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't matter. What you probably want to do is you want to put your tank out first. And whoever you consider your tank, whoever you want to be your tank to level up. I'm going to put Rose first. And then I'll put Diana and Kane. So it's going to basically do this. Are you sure? Now we've got our teams A, B, and C. And they've got A, B, and C as how that should go. And we got Rose saying her little statement there, which is pretty cool. I like Rose. She's not one of the most amazing developmental knights, but I just like using her because I like some project knights. And if you want to use project knight, you know, you're very much, you know, you have that opportunity. So you can see A team's going first, and you're probably wondering, like, why are all these different things here? Why is all this stuff? So we'll close out with this before we go. Why is it like this and this and this? Well, it goes by your level. And if you have the same level as somebody else, then it goes by your agility. So Avemir has the highest level and also highest agility, so he's level. So my Kane is level 12, his Avemir is level 14, and so that's kind of how it goes. So the highest level goes first with the highest agility, because in a battle, if you're more experienced, you'd be able to know how to move out your troops a little bit faster. I think that's why they do that. So even though we placed our troops like this, in which order we wanted, it really depends on where they're going to be placed on the battlefield. Typically, the first team is going to be placed in the center, and the other teams are going to be placed around it somehow. It goes in different ways, but it shows you before the battle starts. So if you want a particular battle development as far as how you're starting your team, like let's say we got a bunch of forest creatures, we probably want the forest creatures to be on C team for this battlefield, coming from this position, so they can get advantage of some of this forest. But if we want to be deep in the forest, then we probably want them down here. So it depends on how you want to come at it, and it really comes down to what you want to do. So really take the time to think about that and be like, I kind of want to try this. If you have a gut feeling like I want to try this, you have to go with your gut. You go with your gut because that's what Battlefield's about, that strategy is about. And sometimes you have to take advantage of certain things that give you an advantage. So for her, being an archer, she swims through the forest. Forest creatures swim through the forest like archers, samurais, and mandrakes. And so that's not a bad thing for her. She can swim in this forest and kind of do well there. So that's good for her. And that's really all I got to say for this video here. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I kind of covered a lot of stuff. We'll try to cover this as far as like a formation battle for another video, more of a medium guide, not an advanced guide, but a medium guide. We'll cover this in a later video. And I want to thank you for coming by. Hope you had a good one. Hope you're having a great day. And if you have any other ideas for any other guides, or you have any questions or whatever that could be, you know where to put those comments. And I'll see you later. Thanks for coming by.